Hello mga kaibigan, pasensya na po ulit at medyo natagalan yung ating pag-upload nung part 3 nitong Senate hearing, no, tungkol sa Pharmally. Okay? So ayun na nga. So ituloy natin, i-play natin, and then in this one marami tayong magiging komentaryo dahil isasalang na yung mga resource persons o yung mga iniimbestigahan na mga foreigners, no? May Taiwanese, may Indian, no, na Filipino citizen na rin yata kasi magagaling na silang magtagalog. Okay, na itong mga to ay allegedly, no, involved sa Pharmally scam or dun sa PS DBM tungkol sa pondo na nanggaling sa DOH, no? Alright, wag na natin patagalin. In 3, 2, 1.
Yan, may kasong magagawa sa kanila. Tama ba yan?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Hindi pwedeng pagbuuin. Dapat bawat violation, isang kaso yon for every offense.
Sa bawat kumpanya po, Mr. Chairman, ito po ay required po, Mr. Chairman.
So yung sino magre-report? In the case of
Dapat po yung kumpanya po.
Yung kumpanya magre-report.
What about yung bawat kumpanya po na mayroong related party transactions, Mr. Chairman?
Inahanap ko pa rin si Rose na rin sana humarap siya rito dahil dapat ipaliwanag niya dahil marami siyang biniling mga real estate. Is that correct? Nasa pangalan niya?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
So sa mga tweet, pag nasa kontrata niya nakalagay, married to Lin Wei Xiong, violation yun dahil siya ay kasama na bumibili at hindi niya masasabing walang kinalaman si Lin Wei Xiong yun. Tama? Papaliwanag niya rin yung kung saan niya kinuha yung pera. Correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Base po sa kanyang previous appearance po, sinabi po niyang galing po sa asawa niya lahat ng pera, Mr. Chairman.
Yes. So, lumalabas parang dami lahat itong mga ito. Dahil wala naman silang katulad ni Rose na rin. 4 million lang kanyang perang accumulated, pero ang lumabas na purchases niya, umaabot ng 136 million, talagang maaari natin sabihin na ginagamit lang yung pangalan niya para bakalusot. Pero nakalimutan nila, meron palang mga ruling na ganyan. Tama ba yan?
Posible po, Mr. Chairman. Tulad po nung nabanggit po niya dun sa Pogo Company na mga kapatid po niya at pamangkin yung nilagay, pero sinabi po niya na sa kanya o sa asawa pa rin po niya galing yung pera. Yes, Mr. Chairman.
So may sabit pa rin, di ba? Sabit talaga. Hindi lang may sabit,
yes,
sabit talaga.
Ayun, maputol ko lang po saglit mga kaibigan, ano. Grabe, no? Nakakapagtaka po yan. Mantakin nyo, ang accumulated assets ay more or less 4 million pesos. Pero yung purchases 136 million. Paano nangyari yun? No? Again, hindi pa natin sinasabing conclusive na ito, no? Kung sakasakali lang totoo, talaga namang grabe. So, for the sake of this commentary, of course, we always give the benefit of the doubt. And again, aantayin natin kung ano talaga yung magiging verdict. Na? Okay, tuloy pa natin.
Kung nakikinig si Rose ng Odolim, talagang isasama na natin sa report yan dahil independent na yung ating malinaw na meron naman siyang testimony na sinabi niya sa mga kapatid niya yan, pero wala siyang maipaliwanag kung saan ang galing yan. Pero nala yung sinasabi niya galing sa asawa niya. Diba, nanganak bigla yung garahe niya ng isang kotse, hindi niya pwedeng sabihin na walang tatay yun. May tatay yun, di ba? Yung nagbigay ng anak na kotse, di ba? I'm just being euphemistically speaking, that is, no? So, lalabas at lalabas yan. So, in other words, ang Pharmally ngayon ay talagang kasama na nag-weave nitong mga negosyo na lumawak na ang talagang puno at dulo ay si Michael Yang at saka si Lin Wei Xiong, si Lincoln Ong, at saka sila yung kanilang mga alipor na si Dargani, na lahat may testimony tayo na sila ay ginamit pa yung pangalan na siya ay empleyado ni Michael Yang, siya ay kasama dito sa, iba naman kasama sa budget DBM, PSDBM o sa tinatawag ng DBM SAP, di ba? Sinasabi nila na nagtatrabaho sila doon. makikita natin na salasalabat at nagsama-sama na at talagang makikita the web of participation within that web to perpetrate a crime against the Filipino people. I think with your testimony today, revealing all these rules and regulations na kung di mo pagtsatsagaan, magmimintis ka, di mo makikita, makakalusot pa yung mga yan. Would that be correct, sir?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, kasi kinailangan din po namin balikan ulit po lahat, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Certainly, the chair owes you a very, very profuse gratitude as well as the Blue Ribbon Committee. At lumalabas ngayon sa akin, may marami pa rin property na lumalabas kay Rose Dodolim galing ngayon sa Land Registration Authority. So, yan sa pagbubuo nitong report, lalabas lahat yan. Siguro kayang-kaya na ng BIR, matino naman siguro yung BIR chairman natin, wala akong nakikita ang pagkakamali niya. So far, siguro dapat pa ilalabas na kasama lahat yan para makadagdag tayo sa gagastusin natin. Imbis na utang tayo ng utang, makakadagdag yan sa mga gagastusin natin. Bagamat malaki yan, pero maliit pa rin sa hamon ng panahon na napakalaking gagastusin na bilyon-bilyon dito sa COVID at dito ngayon sa napakalaking bagyo na inabot natin. Every cent counts, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. With the senator from Iloilo, my distinguished friend and worthy member of the Sigma Rho fraternity, make a statement, ask questions because I do have a lot of respect for the fraternity. We're all from UP, and I'm very, very impressed with many of my colleagues from the university. Sir?
Not at this point, Senator Gordon. Maybe in the course of our hearing today, there can be some clarifications that I will ask, but not at this point.
Yes, sir. In the meantime, with the permission of our colleagues, I'd like to ask, I don't know if Risa Deveros is there. She was present at the beginning because she's the one very interested in this, and we should be able to show the matter of who was going to. We dug deeply into who was going to fund the private aircraft taken by the Dargani to try and fly the coop, so to speak. And may I ask, Mr. Wang, did you have anything to do with that?
Mr. Chairman, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, as I've said in my previous hearings, I did not know about the exact details of the flight. At the beginning, previously, Mr. Mohit Dagani did ask me to see if I can give recommendations. I researched a few and I passed it to him, but that is all of my involvement.
Yes, I remember what you said, that you had no involvement in securing the flight.
Yeah.
I remember that, right? Now, I'm sorry to have to ask you this question and confront you with some documents. I'd like the committee to send it to the other senators here present so they can help me in the discovery that we have made. Are you, Mr. Wang, the same person as Jensen or Jensen?
That's correct.
That's correct.
Yes.
Now, I would like to show you a page from a person by the name of Yanni Son. And that looks like that's you. Will you confirm that, please?
That's correct.
That's correct. All right. And it says 368 posts, 657 followers, 964 following. Now, let me just introduce you to certain documents that would belie what you're saying. And these are the contact details that you have. Jensen Wang Company, Strongbox Equity Investments, PTE Limited. Is that you?
Yes, that's me.
Yes. And that's also your email, yenny yenson@yahoo.com.
Yes.
That TW. Does that TW mean Taiwan?
Yes.
So again, we go back to the Pharmally incident in Taiwan.
I cannot deny where I'm born, Mr. Chairman.
Were you born in Taiwan?
That's correct. I was born in Taiwan.
So you're originally Taiwanese, right? Okay,
Yes.
that's fine. Thank you for your forthrightness in that particular information. Now, I have here, it appears that someone by the name of Yenson Wang inquired with Air Charter, and I'd like to show it to you on the on the on the page there. That's you, and those are your telephone numbers, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And you do own Strongbox Equity Investments. A very nice name, very strong name.
Yes.
Part of that, or does that belong to you?
That belongs to me. It's a shelf company that I own.
Shelf company.
Yes.
And it is registered in Singapore or in the Bahamas or in the Virgin Islands?
If I remember
BVI.
correctly, I think it's Singapore. I'm not. I forgot. I cannot remember exactly.
Forgot. That's a very important piece of information that you don't forget, especially if you have a strong box of equity investments. Let me now show you this. There, I will read to you a proposed schedule, subject to slots, parking, weather, traffic rights, etc. Monday, 8th November 2021, depart Davao Francisco Bangoy International Airport, 12:30 local time. Arrive Al Makutun International, Dubai, South DWC. That's, I think, in the United Arab Emirates, right?
That's correct.
Arriving at 18.25.
Yes.
Catering is suggested there, standard catering. Crew details to be advised. Handling agents to be advised. We confirm the gross charter price to be 140,000 US dollars, inclusive of passenger taxes and security charges, which we confirm shall be paid to ACS on or before Wednesday, the 3rd November 2021. And your name, Janssen, appears there. Can you show them the document, please? Ano pang gumagapang dito? Ano ba kayo? Oversight Office Management. Confidential. Dear sirs, and I read it to you. Reference 2020 COA report and other issues related to budget utilization of the DOH. Further to your letter dated 24 November 2021 and your follow-up letter dated 6 December 2021. Again, A for effort to the Blue Ribbon Committee. We have collated the attached zip file of records relating to this matter for you purely for the purposes of assisting you in the investigation referred to in paragraph 1 of your letters. By way of background, Air Charter Service ACS is an air charter broker procuring flights through various air carriers for clients. We are a broker and not in operational control of the flight. We source and book the flight on behalf of the client, in this case with Chelitar Jet. The original flight was booked by Business Beyond Limits, OPC. I think the committee is very well familiar with that. From Davao to Dubai for $140,000. The aircraft for this trip had a technical issue So the flight didn't go ahead. Having put alternative options to the client, they opted to wait for the aircraft to be fixed. However, when it became clear that the aircraft was not going to be fixed, we offered a smaller aircraft to Kuala Lumpur, where the passengers could then take a commercial flight on to Dubai. Therefore, another contract was signed for US $50,000, and the first contract for US $140,000 was voided. Now, $50,000 is about 2,500,000 pesos. The initial inquiry came from Yenson Wang and then handed over to Maurice Daniel, who signed the contract for both Business Beyond Limits OPC and also ROX Trading. And then it says, if you need any further details from us, please do not hesitate to contact me directly. Kind regards, Natasha Lam Guren. Now, is that Yenson Wang one and the same as your person, Your Honor? Sir? Mr. Wang?
Mr. Chairman, as I've said, I did research initially for Mr. Mohit Dagani, and then I did not follow up after. I was not the one who booked the flight. I did not pay for the flight. And so I don't know. Yes, Mr. Yensen Huang is me. I did research.
Well, this is a formal letter, official letter by the Blue Ribbon Committee. We got this information. It did not make any qualification. It merely said, of course, that the initial, can I quote it again, please? Initial inquiry came from Yenson Wang and was then handed over. You may not be the one to have paid it, but certainly you made the initial inquiry. And this is only logical because you are the president of Pharmally and Mr. Dargani is close to you. And so he probably asked you, can you see to it that I can get the plane? So the document speaks for itself. I'm merely giving you a chance to say yes or no. That issue, isn't it? Cannot be denied.
I'm not denying.
Any initial inquiries.
Mr. Chairman, I've stated that in the previous hearing already. I don't know what is there to deny.
I'm sorry?
I've stated that in the previous hearing itself. So I don't know what are you suggesting that I'm denying?
No, you said you had nothing to do with it.
I have nothing to do with the actual flight.
But now it shows that you had something to do with it initially.
I did say I made initial inquiries on behalf of Mohit Dagani. I researched some of it and I said I couldn't handle it. And
I'm sorry, my memory seems to depart from me, but I can always check the TSN. And I think we have it here. Mr. Wang, that Mr. Chairman, at these stages, I did try to find different sources, but in the end, I left to Mohit because I don't know. I wasn't in frequent contact with him during that time. And so it is easier for him if he wants to plan anything, it's easy for him to plan. And so because it's very difficult for me. Therefore, I think maybe he sought the help of other people. I didn't know. So just as far as I don't know Gary Wong and the reason if ever he don't want to mention who Gary Wong is, if ever I think it's just for me, the intention that he doesn't want to implicate people who help him. I think the statement, you're playing around with words, the initial statement that you made is simple. I did try to find different sources, and I just wanted to get it in black and white that you did make the initial inquiry.
Yes.
And then afterwards, this guy, Dennis, started doing it for... I just wanted to show that you were helping a friend, correct?
Yes, of course.
Of course. And you knew very well that you were all under investigation. Of course.
I wasn't sure if Mr. Mohit Dagani himself.
The question is very simple. You knew that these people were under investigation with you. There's an ongoing hearing. And by that time, you knew that he flew the coop. He left the hearing and became invisible for 3 weeks until we found him there. And so, knowing that, he asked you, and you made initial inquiries, as you say, That makes you part of it. In no uncertain terms.
Under no times did Mr. Mohit Dagani specify to me the passengers on the list. He just said he wants to get his mom and sister out.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not trying to argue here. I'm just stating the fact. I already said it since the start that I did find different sources.
I'm not arguing with you, sir.
That's not the only inquiry I made. That was not the only charter I made.
What other inquiries did you make? Now the cat is out of the bag. Tell us.
They are all online inquiries. You just put key in detail, like say where you want to leave from to where. Then that's it. So I made inquiries. As I said, I made a few inquiries and I left it. Afterwards, I left it to Mr. Mohit Dagani. I don't know what you are trying to associate me with. I already said that since the start.
Did I say I'm associating you with it? I'm letting the letter speak for itself.
Yeah, which is the letter came after my statement. I said I did try to find different sources for Mr. Mohit Dagani.
You did not bother to find out, hey, Mohit, you're under investigation. What are you doing? You're taking your sister out, you're taking your mother out, and you're making me part of it?
He didn't specify that is for him and his sister.
It may be a small matter to you. Lying becomes very frequent.
It's not. I didn't lie, Mr. Chairman. I really don't think I lied. I said it since the start. I don't know a Gary Wong, and I did help him find.
You're right. You don't know a Gary Wong, but you did conduct an inquiry. Do you know Daniel Morris?
No, I don't know Morris.
Did you not find it in your heart to say, hey, if you leave, even I am going to be compromised because I help you. And if you leave, it shows that you're running away from a crime.
Mr. Chairman, if you want my opinion.
No, I don't need your opinion, quite frankly.
Okay, then.
It speaks for itself. You see, I'm sorry that, it would have been better to say, well, I did try to make inquiries. I tried to get him a charter, but eventually he did it himself. That would have been the correct answer.
I'm pretty confident I make that quite clear in my statement in the last hearing.
I showed you. I'm not trying to pull the rug under you or put the wool in your eyes.
I
did
think
say,
that
quote unquote, that Mr. Chairman, at these stages, I did try to find different sources. But in the end, I left to Mohit. Even that is a general statement. But the letter is a specific statement that you made inquiries on the flight, that you were ready to pay, or it appears that there was a price, $140,000, and that you were going to go with it. And it didn't enter your mind, hey, buddy, we're under investigation. If you leave, we're all in trouble.
Mr. Chairman, I believe anyone with a computer with access to the website can make an inquiry without any sufficient proof. Anybody in this forum can do that. That's very unfair to say that.
Well, then take your case to the charter services.
But I did not deny that I made the thing. I did not deny I made the inquiry, but you're saying as if it was a very formed inquiry with deposits paid and confirmed flight details. There was none.
No, it is an innocent inquiry then. Innocent, right?
Innocent.
Innocent.
I did
you
it
just asking. You're just saying, oh, do you have a flight? You don't bother to find out the consequences. That if he was able to escape, you would be hanged with it.
Ayan mga kaibigan, maputol ko lang po sandali, natatawa na ako sa mga reasoning ni Taiwanese eh. Pambihira ka na. Saan po kayo nakakita ng yung mga kasama niya sa kumpanya, yung mga officers, corporate officers, ay alam niyang may mga kinakaharap na investigasyon sa Senado, and then tinulungan niyang mag-book ng flight, pinakita yung ebidensya. Nung una parang i-deny pa niya, pero nung ipakita nung broker, nung chartered plane yung communication or yung letter, na isinabit sa Senado, well, hindi na siya makalusot. So ngayon, pinapalabas niya, it was an honest inquiry, na just helping a friend. Pero in the first place, alam mong may liability or under investigation pa. So in essence, sinasabi ni Senator Dick Gordon na hindi niya ba naisip na maaaring makatakas si Mohit Dagani? Halatang lumulusot lang si Taiwanese pero napakababaw ng kanyang depensa. hindi siya makakalusot kay Senator Gordon. Pambihira, UP graduate ng law si Gordon, at kung di ako nagkakamali with honors, no? So ayun, hindi naman tayo sa humuhusga kaagad, pero the way he answer, parang lalo niyang inilulubog yung sarili niya, no? Tapos ang masakit pa, yun na nga, nabanggit na rin ni Senator Gordon, kung ako nagkakamali, may $50 million scam na ginawa sa Taiwan. At kung hindi rin ako nagkakamali, parang it was stock manipulation, no? Kung di ako nagkakamali, no? Correct me if I'm wrong, mga kaibigan. Ang ganda nung balitaktakan. Pagpatuloy po natin, mga kaibigan, ang ganda nung nangyayari.
We call that abetting a crime, an accessory after the fact, if you will. Actually, not after the fact, an accessory leading to an escape of a felon. And by the way, your history doesn't speak very well, because you did leave Taiwan after that $50 million scam there. And your record says volumes. You don't want to reveal. Can you tell us the $7 billion, $7 billion, and that you cannot account, the company cannot account for $3.4 billion that was purchased, and importations or that can be accounted, only account for $613 million. You're the president, and you cannot account for $7.9 billion unacquired unaccounted importations. Now, I don't want to be unfair to you. $50 million in Taiwan is a lot of money that you could launder in the Philippines to this so-called bola purchase from PSDBM.
Mr.
That would
Chairman,
have cleaned the money from Taiwan.
if I have $50 million US, I wouldn't ask for the help of Mr. Michael Young.
I'm not interested in that. All I'm saying is, it would appear, when you look at all these events, all these facts, there seems to be something wrong, or as they say in Shakespeare, there seems something rotten in the streets of Denmark. Is it Denmark? Yeah, I think so. Hamlet, right? So, how do you explain that now? Let me ask you, referring back to the statement, 8.5 billion pesos of your company, Pharmally, in the Philippines, importation per DPS, DBM. It seems that you come after the fact, when Lincoln Ong was already in trouble. You said, no, you don't put, I would say that Michael Young really was helping us, they lent us money. And then when Dargani was in trouble, then you come out and say, I make inquiries, but actually you were ready to pay $140,000 into the pier to get them to Dubai. You never even lifted the finger and say, hey, buddy, we have nothing to hide. You stay there. We'll fight it out. We'll fight it out. We have nothing to hide. We're honest people. I didn't see that. All right? So what is happening into the pier, especially in the circumstances that, wow, you must have gotten along with it. They're living in Davao. That's the president's hometown. They will be protected out there. Wow. And as Harry Roque said, oh, the government cooperated with the Blue Ribbon Committee. They were able to get, it was the immigration authorities and the customs authorities that made the information. No, sir. They allowed the Gargaris to ride on the plane, and upon our instructions, they were going to be arrested only when they're in the plane about to take off. And that's exactly what happened.
Oh, grabe yun Customs and the Bureau of Immigrations ay pinayagan daw yung mga Garganis, no, na makasakay sa dun sa plane na binok ni itong si Huang, yung president ng Pharmally. So dahil natunugan ng Senado, saka lang sila pinatigil at inaresto nung they are about to take off, sabi ni Gordon. So may pagkonsili pa pala sa Customs saka sa Bureau of Immigration ayon kay Senator Gordon. Grabe naman. Pambihira. Kung yun talagang totoong nangyari, no? Pambihira, ano? Bakit? Malaking bakit, di ba? Tuloy po natin, mga kaibigan.
So all this leads to a conspiracy once again of trying to, escape accountability. Mr. Wang, alias Yenny Sonson.
Mr. Honorable Chairman, I don't think we have that kind of influence that you are insinuating, citing for the fact that
I'm not insinuating anything. I go by the facts.
are in your custody. I mean, what influence and power are you talking about? I don't see any from any point of view. I already told you, we are not connected to the government. We are just trying to make projects, and we overreach. I guess we reach for we are
I'm not overreaching. If you had been a cameraman, you would have said, yes, actually, I made an inquiry with the air charter services, trying to help my friend get out. Yeah, I made the preliminary statements. Don't blame me because I'm just being a friend. You probably
But that's what I said.
never came to your mind, right?
But that's what I said in that you saw the statement. That's what I said. I made inquiries first, and I handed over to him because I said I don't know.
And right away, you never even said that, hey, don't go out because you're going to put me in trouble, as you are in trouble right now. You're sweating buckets right now.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Again, I'm off to another start here. I'm asking you, how come you cannot account for what we have discovered and that, can you go to the next slide, that one, 7.9 unaccompanied, and there are about 3.4 billion, was it? There are 3.5 billion unknown suppliers.
Ayun, so far sa nakikita ko, lumalakas yung mga ebidensya na nakakalap ng Blue Ribbon Committee, ano? Base sa aking obserbasyon dito sa mga iniimbestigahan na mga tao, no? Okay, so gaya ng sinabi ni Senator Gordon, wala sa jurisdiction or authority ng Blue Ribbon Committee yung sila mismo yung mag-file ng complaint, kundi ipapasa nila ito sa Department of Justice through kay Secretary Maynard Guevara yata, no? Or sa NBI. So, and then kung sino man yung mapili sa kanila, sila yung magla-lodge ng formal complaints sa korte. Ayan, umiinit po ang talakayan at doon sa mga interesado sa ganitong usapin, salamat po sa inyong pagsubaybay. Abangan po ninyo ang part 4